add a little sprinkle on top. Make yourself really, really feel like you are a queen.
And don't take this personal.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel, Simply Kee Samone. If you are new here, I want to say welcome, and if you're returning, I want to say welcome back. Here on my channel, I talk all things mindset, growth, and lifestyle, and today we are diving into a very, very trendy, popular topic, probably for the last year and a half, which is soft life. Yes, we are going to be diving into tips on how to truly live a soft life. So if you are interested in learning how to transform your very life into a soft one, pull out your notes, kick back, relax, grab you some water or some wine, and let's just dive right in. Okay, beautiful people. So yes, finally talking about one of the trendiest topics that I have seen on social media in a long time, for the length of amount of time that has been popping, and that is soft life. Soft life living. There is a lot of, I guess, controversy in the popularity of it, what the true meaning of living a soft life really is. And so I really felt compelled to dive in on this topic because I do have my own opinions on it, what it is, what it is to truly live a soft life, and I feel like these tips can help you out. So yes, let's just dive right on in. Okay, so first let's talk about the popular definition of what soft life is. Whenever you think of soft life, you think of luxury, you think of not working, you think of relaxation, you think of peace, you think of everything luxury and just living your best spoiled girl or queen living. That's really what you think of when you hear soft life. When I hear soft life, the first thing that comes to mind is really peace. Luxury does come in there, but really peace, living a life of ease, living a happy life, a peaceful life, a life where my mind has room to rest, a life where my mind, body, and spirit feels very at its peak, if you will. The first tip that I have for you to live an actual soft life: make you your first priority. Making you your first priority is so very important in life. I know that we as women get caught up into being a superwoman in almost every lane of our life, but we often forget to make ourselves a priority. When you have a spouse, when you have kids, when you have friends, you have family, we all have these things, but there has to be a balance when it comes to putting yourself first. You are your main priority. If you aren't your first priority, how do you expect to pour into your other priorities? For example, if you have kids, if you are not your first priority, how do you feel that you can show up as the best mother and role model that you can if you are not performing from a full cup? You cannot keep pouring out into your children, into, you know, their lives, what they have going on, if you literally have nothing for yourself. And I'm coming from a place of someone who does not have children, but is surrounded by a lot of women who do have children. So just from observation, I do understand how your kids can somewhat become your identity. Your kids become, you know, the center of your world. And having children, that is such a beautiful feat. Motherhood is such a beautiful time in your life, but that is not to say that you are no longer a priority to yourself. The same thing goes for friendships and your romantic relationships. How are you going to pour into healthy relationships? How are you going to hold up your side of the bargain? How are you even going to allow room for the other people that are in your life to hold up their side of the bargain if you're always putting everyone first before yourself? Again, pouring from an empty cup is not going to serve you and not going to serve the people around you. You're going to end up burnt out. You're going to end up tired. You're going to end up feeling used just because you put all of these things ahead of yourself. There are a lot of women that pour out so much of themselves that they become a bitter person, that they become an angry person or an anxious person or a person that feels like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of doing anything nice for myself? But that's because you've lost sight of your number one priority, which should be you. It's okay to not be the superwoman all the time. You don't have to tackle everything. Everything and everyone can wait. If you really, really need to take a step back and really figure out how you are going to prioritize yourself, that's just what you have to do in order to live a softer, calmer, peaceful life. You have got to be your number one priority in everything that you do. In turn, you will be able to give more. You will be able to love harder. You will be able to just live a happier life with the people around you. It's not necessarily that you're saying that the people around you don't matter, because they truly do. But there's no way that you can take care of them and pour into them if you are not doing that for yourself first. Tip number 2 is the perfect caveat off of tip number 1, which is prioritizing taking time for yourself. Now, when I say prioritize taking time for yourself, this means make sure you're intentional about your quiet time. Make sure that you're intentional about your self-care. Make sure that you're intentional about whenever you go get maintenance done or whenever you do maintenance on yourself. Be intentional about the time that you set aside to read your favorite book. Be intentional about the time that you set aside to watch your favorite shows. Be intentional about the time that you set aside to, work on those goals that you have, to tackle some of those goals that you have on your vision board. Be intentional about your hobbies or the things that you're really interested in or the things that you really want to try. Or it could just be something as simple as being intentional about taking time to take a quiet walk for yourself. Being intentional and prioritizing time for yourself is so very important. Again, if you're not prioritizing the things that can make you happy on an internal level, not necessarily a surface level, but an internal level, this is really going to allow you to tap in with yourself and make sure that you're okay. Make sure that you're giving yourself the things that you like, giving yourself the things that you need, giving yourself just the time and the space to breathe, to be, to meditate, to pray, to journal, all of those things, whatever the time may be. If it's only an hour a day or if it's only a couple hours a week, you have to be intentional about making that time for yourself. I know that a lot of people live very, very busy lives. Again, kids, spouse, family, job, all of these things, but you can make time for the things that you want to make time for. Y'all ever heard the sayings that, people make time for the things that they really want to make time for? And it really is true. There is plenty. And when I say plenty, there are plenty of hours in the week. Whether you may have to wake up earlier or go to bed later or take out some time on the weekend or, ask a friend or a family member to help you with your kids or ask your spouse or whatever that may be, you have got to put in the intention to set aside that time to really prioritize yourself, prioritize self-care. I'm telling you, there is nothing like relaxing in the bathtub in silence, relaxing in a bubble bath with a glass of wine, listening to some soft music. Like, there is nothing like it. It's top tier. Now, that may only last 45 minutes or an hour, but I promise you, it makes all the difference. To be able to do that for yourself weekly, it makes all the difference. Again, if you're going to go get maintenance done, if you're going to just go have a walk in the park, those times really do make a difference. Please don't underestimate how much of an impact that taking time for yourself can really do for you. Okay, so tip number 3, which is probably gonna be one of my favorite, most fun tips on this list, which is romanticize your life. Now, I know we hear a lot of people talking about, romanticize your life, romanticize your life. What does that really mean? Romanticizing your life isn't necessarily, having the best things, having the most luxury things, going out to the most expensive restaurants or going and buying yourself the most luxurious things. Although those things are considered part of soft life, in which they are, because let's face it, it does not hurt to treat yourself every once in a while. I'm not against it at all, but you can start by romanticizing your life with the little things, like lighting a candle when you're sitting in a room, or whenever you're relaxing in bed, play a little soft music. If you are cooking dinner and it's one of those easy quick meals that you always make, like let's say pasta or spaghetti, sprinkle a little parsley on it, make your plate look cute. Like pour yourself a glass of wine. Romanticize your life by, whenever you do take a bubble bath, light some candles. If you don't like candles, use some electric tea lights. They have battery powered tea light candles that you can use at any time, indoors or outdoors. Take the extra time to make your bedroom feel like a luxurious room. I'm telling you, there are so many luxury items that are really, really affordable and don't take long to get on Amazon. Go the extra mile to make yourself look a little bit more put together every day. Go the extra mile to make your home a sanctuary. Go the extra mile to go out to eat alone. Just take the time to slow down and just make everything about your life beautiful. Now, this does not have to look like any TikTok trends. It doesn't have to look like what you've seen on Instagram. It's really up to you and just truly the things that you like and what you feel is aesthetically pleasing for yourself. Clean and declutter your space. That is some top tier romanticizing your life. Okay. If you are living in a space full of clutter, disarray, all of those things, you are going to feel scramble minded. You're probably not even going to want to be home. If you just take the time to, make your space just feel nice, neat, and fresh, you're going to feel like you're in a luxury place. Take things slow. On your off days from work, what do you spend your time doing? Are you soaking up social media? Are you soaking up drama-filled reality TV shows? Like, what is it that you're doing with your free time? Are you making it enjoyable for yourself? Are you taking the time to put on a face mask? Are you taking the time to try a new recipe that looks cute that you saw on TikTok? Are you taking the time to, make yourself look pretty and take pictures of yourself? Romanticizing your life really is truly what you make of it. And it does not have to look like anything that you see on social media. Romanticizing your life should be exactly that. Just taking the time to enjoy the small things in life and taking the time to smell the roses. When's the last time that you stopped by the grocery store and picked up some roses? You don't have to go to any fancy florist, Target, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. All the grocery stores that you see have flowers. Putting flowers in your home makes such a difference. I'm telling you, you have got to just take the time to make the things around you beautiful, make your life more enjoyable, listen to light, soft, calming music on your way to work. Anything that you don't want to do or anything that just seems mundane and something that's kind of mindless, just do a little something to add a little sprinkle on top. Make yourself really, really feel like you are a queen. Give yourself that princess treatment. Give yourself that queen treatment and treat yourself like the goddess that you are, like the soft life that you deserve to live. Give that to yourself. Take the time to truly, truly romanticize your life. One of the things that I feel like that I've noticed in my own personal life, just by doing like those little extra things to really make life feel luxury for me, or to make life feel enjoyable, or to make things just seem a little extra beautiful. Something as little as making a charcuterie board at home, like taking the time to like make it look super cute and take pictures of it and have candles going and music going and everything like that. I would have friends that would say like, girl, you be doing all the cute stuff, or you be doing all the little cute stuff. And I will. It's funny because I noticed that a lot of people will equate romanticizing your life or doing the little extra things or going the little extra mile for yourself or being super, particular about how you want things to look, or, just doing quote unquote the most. People feel like, oh, that's for bougie people, or oh, that's for whatever. And you do not have to be bougie to romanticize your life. I'm far from bougie, but I know what I like to see in my daily life. I know what makes me happy. I know what makes me feel calm and at peace. I know what I like for things to be a certain way or to look a certain way, just so that my everyday life can feel that much more elevated. And there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to, go all crazy. You don't have to empty your bank account to make your life feel like that. Again, just the little things like sitting on the couch and playing. If you don't have a fireplace, go on YouTube and look up like the fireplace screen. It'll play for hours. Or one of my favorites is going on YouTube and looking up slow jazz, stormy night, or high rise penthouse, stormy night, or something like that. Like something that looks super aesthetic, and I will put it on the TV and I'll have it playing low, and I'll do my chores, or I'll sit on the couch and drink some wine, or read a book, or listen to a podcast, like anything small like that, which didn't cost me anything. It really, really elevated just that moment in time and made my day that much better. So yes, the third tip, again, like I said, that was one of my favorites. Romanticize your life. Take the time to slow down, make the things around you beautiful, make yourself beautiful, and just go the extra mile for yourself. If there's something that you want to try and something that you want to do, or if you don't enjoy the way your space looks, make it beautiful. I promise you, it's going to make that much of a difference. All right, so tip number 4. This is super, super important, and I am a very much so advocate for it, which is going to therapy. Now, this tip will not apply to everyone, but if you feel like you have a lot of stress in your life, if you feel like you have a lot of anxiety in your life, if you feel like that you've expressed or experienced depression at any point in time in your life, or if you just feel like you need that outlet, please, 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 I urge you to go to therapy. Now, I know even though therapy is more so talked about, it's more so accepted, and people are not really hiding behind closed doors going to therapy, I still do feel like that there is a stigma on it. You don't necessarily have to have had a psychotic break or something like that to go to therapy. You could go to a therapist purely just to talk about work, or you can go to a therapist purely to talk about your relationships. You can go to therapy to talk about, childhood trauma that you want to heal from, that that's affecting you in your everyday life, and you would like to live a better quality, happier, peaceful life. And anxiety, if you notice that you have social anxiety, or if you notice that you worry a lot excessively about multiple things at once, or just fixated on this one thing, go to therapy. And I know this only because there's people that I know and friends that I have, and whenever we have conversations, sometimes I do ask my friends, have you thought about going to therapy? Or, have you been to your therapist in a while? If it is someone that I know has went to therapy, and they'll be like, oh, no, I ain't been in a while, or nah, I don't really think I need that. And look, I'm telling you, I know therapy is expensive. There are apps now where you can get a therapist for a very good rate. BetterHelp is one of them. Do your research. I know that, it takes a lot of intention, and it takes money, and it takes time. But if this is something that you truly want, which is to live a softer life, a more peaceful life, a life with less stress, not to say that going to therapy is going to fix everything in your life and you're going to have a perfect life, but I promise you, it is going to increase the quality of your life times 10. I have been in therapy consistently for 3 years. I want to say actually going on 4 years, and it could be like off and on. Sometimes it's been once a month, sometimes it's been every other month, but I go consistently just to have that mental maintenance, just to make sure that I stay on track and that your girl is not tripping, okay? But it really, I feel like, has put a different perspective on so many different parts of my life and so many different things that I've experienced, that it has brought me that internal peace. It has brought me that, mental clarity on a lot of things. And again, my life isn't perfect. My mental isn't always perfect. It's not always at its 100, but I know that I am taking the intentional steps to make sure that I optimize it the best that it can be. And again, it contributes to such a softer, more peaceful life. You approach situations differently. You approach problems differently. You tackle things differently. And it really does transform the trajectory of your life. Going to therapy is super, super important. And I really, really do urge you all to go to therapy, or just have a trial run with it, or just dive into it. Again, this tip is not for everyone, but if you do feel like that you have been experiencing excessive stress or anxiety, or if you feel like that there are traumas that you need to heal from, or if things are coming up from the past and you really don't know how to tackle them, and venting to friends and family isn't working, I strongly, strongly urge going to therapy. Okay, so my final tip number 5, which is create a routine for yourself. Create a realistic routine for yourself and stick to it. Now, I know you see, again, all over social media, you see people's successful morning routines, you see people's night routines, you see people's weekend routines. People aren't uploading and, doing these routines for no reason. If you are someone who wakes up and just takes on the day like whatever comes, I tackle it as I go, I don't really have a rhyme or reason to my everyday routines, baby, you are putting so much unnecessary stress and fatigue on yourself, and you probably don't even realize it. Having a routine is not strictly for the sake of having a routine, or it's not strictly for the sake of, a trend. Creating a routine isn't just for the aesthetics, okay? Creating a routine is actually very, very beneficial. When you have less decisions to make throughout your day, you reduce your stress by 10, okay? When you already know what meals you're gonna have, when you wake up in the morning and you already know, what you're gonna wear to work, whenever you head to the gym and you already have what you're gonna do laid out for you, whenever you come home at night and you already know what you're having for dinner, whenever you get ready for bed and you already have your day planned out for the next, it takes so much stress off of you. Now, I know it sounds super cliche, and I know it's like, well, I have this going on and I have this going on and I can't necessarily make a routine. You can have a pivoting routine. You can have a routine for your Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays when you know that you have to do X, Y, and Z. And you can have a different routine for your Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, just because you know that you'll have the availability to do this or you'll have the availability to do this. Either way, creating a routine is super, super beneficial. You are going to reduce your decision fatigue. I'm telling you, I'm not the only person with decision fatigue, and I definitely get it. When I know that I have so many things to tackle in a day and I don't have a priority list of what's important now, what is a non-negotiable for me, what is something that I know that I need to get done, what are my requirements, when I don't have a plan laid out for myself or a checklist, I'm scrambling, okay? My brain is scrambled eggs. When I don't know what it is that I need to tackle, my brain is scrambled eggs. Even planning outfits. Oh my goodness. My wife gets on to me all the time about planning outfits. So when I know that I'm going to be doing something, and I know events pop up, and that's okay. But when I know that something is coming up, I have made it a point to not wait until the last minute to figure out what it is that I'm wearing. I'm just telling you, having a routine is everything. It doesn't have to be super strict, but if you break your day up into at least 4 or 5 blocks and you know in those specific blocks what it is that you're going to do, you are going to live a much more life of ease. You are going to live a life that is less stressful because you already have the day laid out for you. You already have your week laid out for you. All you have to do is fall in line at those specific times and then you're golden. All right, beautiful people. So that about wraps up the tips that I have for living a softer life, how you can actually live this soft life, live and be in the soft girl era like all of the girlies that you see on TikTok and social media, but how to actually do it in your very own life. I hope that you all enjoyed this video and I hope that it was helpful for you in some way. Please do share this video with someone who may need it. Thank you so much for sharing space with me today. If you love this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. And also do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And also do not forget to slide on over to Instagram and follow me there at _Kee Samone. And I'm also _Kee Samone on TikTok as well. And yes, I will just see you all in the next one.
I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you.